Moving on towards our next speaker. Our next speaker is Bogdan Cretu. He is an all-rounder marketing enthusiast with a proven background in digital marketing, SEO, and content marketing. Since 2018, he is working as a marketing specialist for Coinzilla, one of the leading finance and crypto advertising platforms in the market. His topic for today's session will be how to build trust in crypto market. Over to you, Bogdan.
Hello everyone, my name is Bogdan Cretu and I work as a marketing specialist for the Coinzilla crypto advertising network. We all know that in the business world, especially in the crypto sector, trust is crucial. And the crypto sector has kind of a bad reputation, even among crypto enthusiasts. So that's why today we're going to talk about how to build trust in the crypto market. So jumping right into learning what trust is, we're going to take a look at the pyramid of trust. And this may look familiar to some of you. Maybe you've seen it before, or maybe you find it familiar because it looks like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Just like the hierarchy of needs, the pyramid of trust has 5 stages, and that's because earning trust comes gradually. You can't just go ahead and ask your users, your customers, to trust you with their financial information or with their personal information without establishing a baseline first, without letting them know that you're a trustworthy business, you're a trustworthy brand, and that you're going to take care of that information. You're not going to leak it. You're not going to abuse that information, abuse that power that they place in your hands. And the first step in the pyramid of trust is establishing a baseline relevance and trust that needs can be met. And this is usually encountered on the user's first interaction with your website. They land on your website and they have certain questions in mind, like, can this website solve my needs? Does it have what I'm looking for? And that's what you, as a brand, as a project, need to answer. You need to make sure that your user understands exactly what your website is about, what your services are, and how you can help them. That's why you need to present everything clearly and make it very easy to understand. Because once you've done that, you're going to move on to the second step, which is interest and preference over other options, which is where your customers, your potential customers, actually compare your brand to your competition. And the question that they have in mind at this stage is, how is this website better than other options? Why should I choose this project over the others? And this is where you need to focus on showcasing your unique selling points. Focus on your competitive advantages. Show your customers why you are a better choice for them than your competition. Like, what can you do that your competition can't, and why can you do it better? How you can do it better? Now, the third step comes in the form of trust with personal information, where a user asks himself, hey, can I safely store my personal information on this website? This is usually encountered in the sign-up phase, the sign-up stage of a customer journey, because that's when you're actually asking your customer for information, because you're asking for an email address, you're asking for full name, you're probably asking for physical address, date of birth, and other personal information. However, there is a way to kind of loop around this one, because you can, instead of actually asking them for so much information in the sign-up phase, you can just ask them for an email, a password, and a full name. And you can ask the additional information such as physical address, such as date of birth, company name, and so on and so forth. You can do that in the account section once the user has registered. And you can do that as a part of a verification process that where you make sure that your customers are indeed real users and not bots. The fourth step now comes in the form of trust with sensitive and or financial information, where users actually ask themselves, hey, okay, I trusted this company with my personal information. Their solution is okay, is good. Like, I can actually use that service or that product to fix some of my needs, some of my problems. But now, can I actually pay for that? Like, can I add my debit card information to the website? Or what about my physical address? And this is where you can actually take advantage of other brand, like the reputation of other brands. Because, for example, that let's say you're charging for a service, you're charging for a product, you can use well-known payment providers such as Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, Cryto.com to integrate their payment system into your platform. And you can give your users a peace of mind that, hey, okay, look, this company is working with these companies, which are huge, and I've used them before, and I know that I can trust them. So this is probably safe. So make sure that you're reassuring your customers that they can indeed trust you throughout every step of the process, especially in the sensitive and financial information part. Once you've done that, you can move on to the willingness to commit to an ongoing relationship, which generally comes in the form of recurring payments. And now this is the tricky part, because I don't know, companies like Netflix or Spotify, they do that on a daily basis, and everybody trusts them because they're huge. Like, everybody's heard of them. But as a new project, you can't really go that far. You need to, again, reassure your customer that you're not going to charge them for hidden fees, for hidden services, that you're not going to do something with their credit card information. That's why you need to be clear when your users will be charged. You can even notify them before there's a charge coming, and always provide them with invoices. So looping back to the initial slide on the pyramid of trust, we can see again the 5 steps in gaining a user's trust, which are: 1, baseline relevance and trust that need can be met; 2, interest and preference over other options; 3, trust with personal information; 4, trust with sensitive or financial information; and 5, willingness to commit to an ongoing relationship. And one thing to keep in mind throughout the whole process is that most users are not even aware of their doubts at each stage. So you gotta reassure them constantly, and constantly prove that you're a trustworthy brand, that you can keep their information safe, and that you are indeed the solution to one of their problems. So now that we covered everything that we need to know about the pyramid of trust, we can move on to social proof. And to define social proof, we're going to go back to Robert Cialdini's definition of it, which was first introduced in 1984, when he said that one means we use to determine what is correct is to find out what other people think is correct, which is actually very true, because we base a lot of our decisions on what other people think. And that's exactly what a study by Bright Local found out. That 88% of consumers read reviews to determine the quality of a business. And more so, 72% of consumers say that that positive reviews make them trust a business more. So building social proof and actually gaining the trust of an initial baseline, an initial group of people, is going to help you snowball and earn more trust as you go along. So now that we know what the concept of social proof refers to, how do we actually build it? How do we start snowballing on social proof? And that's a question that we need to answer based on the type of project that we are running. So we're going to look, for example, at a news website. Let's say that you're trying to build more credibility in the crypto sector, that you're publishing news about the crypto community, about the crypto market. How do you build social proof? Well, one of the most straightforward steps that you can take, is to actually make sure that you have social share buttons that are visible and easy to access on your website. So like a share button for Facebook, for LinkedIn, for Twitter, like buttons. That's going to help you a lot, because, for example, let's say that you have you published an article, a news article that has been shared over 500 times by your audience. Well, you're going to want the rest of your audience to know that article is performing well, because it's going to snowball and it's going to incite other people to also read it, and perhaps to also share it with their audience, with their friends. Um, or for example, let's say that you have a blog, which is quite similar but not really the same. The same concept applies. You can use social media buttons to build social proof. But another crucial step is to add the comment section, because that's going to help your users interact with your comments, with your content. It's going to help them engage with you as a business, and it's going to allow them to also give feedback on the content that you're publishing. Because, for example, that let's say that you published an article and people are reading it, but hey, I kind of wanted to see a bit of information about that specific topic in this article. They can let you know in the comment section, and you can also optimize that content while showing that you are actively listening to your audience. Or let's say that you're a crypto entrepreneur and you're launching a project, which is a bit different than running a news website or a blog, because you can no longer use, I mean, you can use social share buttons at some point, but that's not the best strategy. The best thing to do if you're running a crypto project is to make sure that you're publishing testimonials, customer reviews, and case studies. Those are crucial when it comes to earning trust, because it's gonna show your audience that, hey, look, we already have several customers that are happy, that are pleased with our product. But the thing is, you gotta go and build a strategy around your testimonials and customer reviews. You can't just take a few happy customers, ask them for a review, publish it on your website, and call it a day. You need to craft your testimonials, craft your reviews, craft your case studies based on your demographics, based on your target audience, and on your marketing persona, because that's going to make people empathize more with the problems that other users had and that you helped fix. But while there is social proof, there is also negative social proof. And what's interesting about it is that it's not less effective than regular social proof, but it can actually be quite harmful. The concept of negative social proof was presented by Noah Goldstein and Steve Martin. I don't know how many of you have heard of the Arizona Petrified Forest, which is the best example that you can find on the topic and how negative social proof works. Steve Martin and Noah Goldstein went to the Arizona Petrified Forest and placed a few signs around the area because people were stealing the petrified wood. So they wanted to see how different languages, how different communication modes would affect the outcome for like how many people actually stole the wood. So they had a control group where they placed no sign, and then they made a sign that said, please don't remove the petrified wood from the park in order to preserve the natural state of the forest. And the second sign read, many past visitors have removed the petrified wood from the park, changing the natural state of the petrified forest. And the results were as follows. In the control group, 2.92% of the pieces of wood were stolen, which is not great, not terrible. In the first sign, the percentage lowered by quite a bit. It went down to 1.67. But in the second sign, 7.92% of the pieces were stolen. And that's because it reassured people that, hey, many past visitors have removed the petrified wood from the park. Nothing happened. There were no repercussions. So you can just go ahead, take one home, take it as a souvenir because no one's going to catch it. So that's why you need to be careful when you're trying to use social proof, not to go into the negative side. So now, moving on to our key takeaways for the session. We have 1. Earn the trust of your users gradually. Remember the pyramid of trust and remember to ask them to trust you more and more, but take it step by step. Don't do it all at once. 2. Present your project as a solution to your users' problems. And 3. Build social proof. That's going to help you a lot. My name is Bogdan Cretu. Thank you for your attention and for attending this session. And if you have any questions or inquiries regarding this presentation and more, don't hesitate to contact me using the email address on the screen. Thank you. Have a nice day.